a game of football.
Yeah.
Can you sum it up?
I wish I could sum it up. I nearly had a heart attack at the start. But no, listen, I said to the players at half time, full credit to them because we started the game poorly, conceding goals that we shouldn't be conceding, but that's been kind of our Achilles heel throughout the whole season. But to bounce back the way they did and to get it back to 2-2 and then look a threat even beyond that, I can only be proud of them. So yeah, listen, it's a huge point for us because it's a point closer to the teams above us, and it starts taking us in the right direction.
What did you think after the first round that you were feeling? Absolute loss.
I was probably in shock because I just didn't see that that kind of start, and it just felt that it wasn't. Without being disrespectful, it wasn't like their well-worked goals or the goal that Hammond scores against Celtic in the cup. It wasn't that sort of thing. It's like things that were avoidable from our point of view. So yeah, you do begin to fear because you think, are we not at the races today? We've now been spooked because we're now 2 goals down. And one of the massive things to me, I say to the players, you're going to deal with adversity in football, but you see when you concede 1 goal, the next 5 or 10 minutes are absolutely vital to make sure you don't concede another. And that didn't really happen today. So yeah, there was a bit of shock, but once we calmed down, I've got massive belief in that group of players in there.
Everybody knows the games are ticking down now, but you cling to as much belief as you possibly can.
Well, until it's impossible to catch the teams above us, we'll never give up. I just said in there to the TV that we play Kilmarnock before the split. You play St Mirren as well, and then you play the 5 teams around you, whoever that might be in the bottom 6. So there's more than enough time. 100%. And I said to the players in there, it might be the last game of the season that we turn this around, but we will turn it around. And we have to have that belief. We have to play with the energy that we played with today. The work rate, and we have to cut out the sloppy mistakes. But guess what? If you're making sloppy mistakes at one end, then your attacking players need to get you out of it at the other end, and they did that today.
You've only won 1 game since all this. What gives you that belief that you can? You probably have to win about 7 or 8 games out of the last 11. What gives you that belief you can do it?
7 or 8 games you think we have to win?
You'd need. How many do you think?
Well, we're 8 points behind now. So well, you do the maths there. What's 7 times 3?
21.
Or exactly, we're 8 points behind at this moment in time. We play them twice, so if we beat them twice, then all of a sudden we're a lot closer than we currently are. Listen, I'll take 7 or 8 wins right now if you can give me that. Listen, we'll go into each game as it comes. We'll aim to win every single game as we have now. But again, we'll have a friendly bet on it, have a beer on it. I don't think it will take 7 or 8 wins, if I'm honest, to stay up.
Emmanuel Danso today, he seems to kind of be properly bedding in now. That was a decent performance out there.
Yeah, brilliant performance. You saw what he can do there in terms of on the ball and playing through the lines. That's his real strength. Began to tire us towards the end, and so did Macaulay Tate. But yeah, I thought he was fantastic on the ball. He gets himself into really good areas defensively as well. He's not the biggest, but yeah, he's adjusting to Scottish football, which is very different to anything that he has played. But yeah, listen, he was really, really good. Saying he ran his race, and thankfully he told me before Mac had exited the pitch that he was feeling tired, because if Mac would have came off and he would have told me that, we'd have probably had a problem. I mean, me and him, not the team. All right.
So how do you sum that one up?
We obviously made a terrific start. Even after the start that we made, I was never entirely comfortable. I thought we looked a little fatigued in our performance. An area we've been very good at has been against the ball and not defending. And we just looked a yard away in certain aspects of it, and also just in our focus at times. So it was a difficult afternoon, when I look at it, and maybe in reflection, we've played 3 games and 3 really tough games within a week. But the players have done so well. And as I've said, in hindsight, maybe, just maybe, I should have freshened things up today.
When you have that lead, everybody probably thought the game was crazy and the game was out of sight. Did you never ever felt that?
No, because I could see we looked a little fatigued in our performance. So I was never entirely comfortable within the game. Because I could see the things that we normally do super effective, we weren't quite doing to those standards today. But I will say this, considering the 3 games that they've had, they showed a strong mentality in the end. They did. They kept going, they kept persevering. but we couldn't quite get that result that we wanted.
Pleased to see Simon back score.
Of course, you know, a delight for him. You know, he's worked extremely hard. He's found himself out of the side. He's had to be patient. And during that period he was out, he worked hard on numerous things, and it's great to see him amongst the goals again.
Well, there's quite a lot of booing at the end, Steve, but did that surprise you? Or did you feel it's harsh?
No, it's the expectation. You know, that's part and parcel of you know, playing football these days. It's people express their feelings, and I've got no issues around that.
Do you think the players took their foot off the gas maybe when you went to
Not at all. No, that's my thing. It was nothing to do with that. We looked fatigued. You know, you've got to remember we play, you know, 120 minutes at Celtic Park, but it's not just the physical fatigue, it's the mental fatigue. Then we go down and we play a really difficult game on Wednesday night, and we had to go to the end. We kept going and going, and then, you know, just over 40 hours later you're asked to go again. And when I look at that, that's why I'm saying maybe in hindsight I made a mistake by not freshening things up, because these players have been given so much.
with how big a 3 points that would be? That I guess that sums up the disappointment from the supporters that you beat Livingston and
Of course. You know, we knew that today. We're disappointed we didn't get the 3 points. But again, context, I look at the way we've performed and some of the things that we're doing, and I'm really pleased how we're progressing.
Camp Concrete. Very good game.
I thought he was excellent today. I thought he was outstanding today. He was a real outstanding performer today. And when you do consider, as I've said, the amount of games and demands on the players over the last 7 days, I thought he gave a brilliant performance.
Right. To get back to the score sheet, a bit bittersweet, the result.
Yeah, obviously, first and foremost, the result is a sore one, because probably, as in the three games, you know, we've deserved so much more in terms of the application and what we've put into the week. You know, Celtic last week, obviously gutting, and then Falkirk, we actually played well without the final bit. Today we probably do the opposite of what we've been doing in recent weeks. You know, we managed to be a bit more clinical, but just probably beat ourselves rather than getting beat from the opposition. But at the end of the day, you know, it's been a tough week. We just need to move on from it as well.
On a personal level, getting the 2 goals, it must be a relief.
Yeah, it's been a tough period, to be fair. Obviously after last year getting so many goals in the year before, but you know, sometimes whatever you put in, sometimes you don't always get what you deserve, you know, for whatever reason. I've, you know, had injuries, and I'm probably 3 or 4 weeks injury free for the whole season, so but just glad to get a couple of goals, get a bit of confidence back, and just kick on from there, I think.
How hard has it been? Because I mean, the last certainly 4 or 5 years, you've been used to playing pretty much every week and scoring every couple of weeks. How difficult has it been?
Yeah, really difficult. Obviously, I have. It's been a tough season, you know, because we had a big transition in the summer, and then I pick up the injury in the League Cup, and I couldn't shake it off, and I'm just playing through because I knew the spot that we were in. But you know, I think it's been good. It's not always just going to be how you want it, you know what I mean? You have to show, I think, the character that you show when things aren't going your way is more important than when things are going your way. You know what I mean? You see the true character of somebody maybe when it's tougher times, so you just need to keep, you know, battling through. The gaffer obviously has been great with me. I came out of the team for a bit, and Ash has done well, and it kind of gave me a bit of a refresh, you know. So the last 4 or 5 weeks in training, I've been back to sort of full speed in terms of myself, and I thought actually the last 3 games I've looked more like myself without getting the goals, and then today I managed to get the goals, which I'm happy about.
Did you feel you needed that refresh a wee bit?
Yeah, I think so. Just mentally, physically, you know, the last few years I've been at teams, you know, scrapping, fighting every week. It's not always easy, you know, but at the same time, it's in an amazing position in life that you get to do it every week. And sometimes football, you know, it's as tough as it is, it's not the toughest thing in the world to be doing. So, yeah, maybe I could be hard on myself at times, and I think that's what the gaffer said, just like go away and just take a bit of time, you know, get back to your normal self, a bit of confidence. So, yeah, the last few weeks I've been feeling a lot more like myself, which is good. So, yeah, just keep going.
What strikers sort of go through a dry spell at times? How can you guys put to the back of your mind and just play in your mind all the time?
I've had that dry spell before.
Just the biggest one you've been on?
Well, the last couple of seasons have been a goal in every 3 at the most.
Yeah.
Last season was a goal in every 2.
Yeah.
So it's been tough, but at the same time, as I say, I have been in periods where through seasons when I've been scored
Yeah.
for 6 or 7, but then you score a few on the bounce, and, you know. So it's just work hard and through the periods where it's not going your way. And today the first goal was probably just fell. You know, sometimes you need one to come to you a wee bit lucky, and then the second one is good.
Yeah.
You know, so they say goals are like buses, you wait for one for weeks, and then but at the same time, like, obviously I know I can score goals. I think the movements maybe haven't been my way, just not feeling as sharp as what I know I have been in recent seasons. So I think just, you know, me, Cam and Tony and the wingers will sit every week trying to get that final connection, you know, and I would say today was more like it, and probably should have had a couple more goals, to be fair. So just keep plugging away, working hard, and keep hopefully getting in the positions to score the goals.
Does it get in your head? Was that the hardest bit when you start to think, oh, I've not scored for maybe 8 or 9?
Yeah.
And then
You know
get a
me, don't
chance.
you? Yeah.
You get a chance and it just feels bigger, if you know what I mean, that chance that comes along.
Yeah, obviously I think the overthinking as a footballer is what can get, you know, I think if you care so much about scoring goals, you then think, do you know what I mean, you freeze, or, you know, I'm not saying I'm going into games and not confident, it's maybe like, you're thinking, you know, I definitely need to get a goal today, and then you're maybe thinking too much, whereas last season it's just, I'm scoring today, or, you know, it's just, you get in the flow, you know, you see strikers all around the world, like, I think, you know, Salah hadn't scored months and months, and then all of a sudden you know, you just get scoring. So it's the hardest thing to do in football, isn't it? Get the goals. Sometimes you overthink, and then you think, oh, I've got the injury as well, am I going to get back? Or, so things play on your mind. Yeah.
So when he told you to take a wee bit of time away from it, which was what, a couple of months ago now,
Yeah.
what did you do during that?
Just took time off. Yeah.
What did you do during that? No, just
Family. Yeah. Just he said just. Obviously, I got sent off against Falkirk, and he just says just going to have some time with the kids, you know. So, and that was great for me. We just went away for a couple of days, refreshed the mind, and then just came back into training a lot fresher, you know. So, probably emphasising the fact that football is important, but you know, there's other things in life that you know can be just as more important.
yeah.
Just to come back and be yourself, don't put too much pressure on yourself, you know, which I do at times. Probably seen that, which is great. It's good to have that connection with the manager as well, that you know he knows the sort of character that you are. Yeah, so it was nice to play back with him.
Where did you go?
We just had a few day trips, you know, like Glasgow, yeah, nowhere abroad, but it was just nice to spend some time with the kids, just out and about, you know, so it was nice. Yeah, all good, nowhere special.
Team wise, what do you think the future holds for this team? You still think they're making plenty of progress?
I would say if you look at the last 3 performances, you know, we haven't got what we've deserved. Celtic last week was phenomenal, the way that we played and sucker punched at the end. Falkirk, we pretty much dominated the game and not many teams really go there and control possession. And then today, you know, a bit leggy, fatigued I think from the week put in. But there's so much to look forward to I think for this team. We just need to keep believing in each other, keep working hard and building to a strong finish. There's no reason why we can't.
Top man,
Thanks guys.
maybe deserved a wee bit more than a draw for that.
Potentially, but I think you can't really start games like that and say you deserve anything because the start's so poor. But credit to the boys because we did show a lot of character to fight back in the game, and in the end we could have nicked 3 points, which would have been great considering the position we were at the start. But yeah, obviously got to start games better if we're gonna try and get ourselves out of this situation.
How much can you take from the fight back though? Is that something you can build on?
Yeah, of course, we've got to take anything we can, and I think it shows today that we're all in it together and we're not going to give up. It doesn't matter what happens because you could easily go 2-0 down today and crumble, but we showed great spirit and managed to fight our way back in the game, and as you said, could have got more in the end.
Have you just kind of set yourself a target of wins or that? Have you got any idea like how many you would need to get to stay up?
Not particularly, everybody knows the situation we're in, but we just need to take each game as it comes, treat every single game the same, and hopefully the points will come and we can start closing the distance because we're all aware of the situation we're in. We're not deluded in any sense, so we know what it's going to take, but just focus on the next game, next opponent, and try and get 3 points in every game we can.
Has there been any sort of significant changes since the sort of change of management?
Of course, there's been changes around the place, but you know, we all knew Marv before he was the assistant, so it's not maybe day to day is maybe a wee bit different, but the whole kind of atmosphere around the club's it's pretty similar. So yeah,